Hello, and I'm still here. The case, the Bronx Supreme Courthouse case, is it's a case, it's a civil rights case. And then it's like, you think back the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. It's like we had a lot of activists that used to fight for the people. They would fight for the people because the people didn't have a voice. No one would speak up for them. And it's the same thing now. Nobody speaks up for themselves. And there's so many things that go wrong and then nobody does anything. That's why things never change. It's because nobody says anything. So how can you expect to be helped if no one ever says anything? It's it's crazy. And then it's like I've been dealing with the issues for over 20 years. And I have always said something. Nobody ever helped me. Nobody ever helped me. Nobody ever stood up for me. Nobody ever helped me with anything. It didn't matter what I did. It didn't matter who I went to. I went to OCA, the Office of Court Administration. They didn't help. I went to HR, Human Resources for the Unified Court System. They didn't help me either. I go to the union don't help me either. So it's like there were so many avenues I could go to because you're employed there. So you have to go through the people that you work with, the people that you deal with. They're supposed to help you. None of them helped me. What's in that file is everyone, the name, the title, their email, their contact, their phone number of what was their job, and that it was brought to their attention and they failed to do their job. It's incriminating evidence to them. They will be fired. They will be fired for failure to do their fucking job. But it's like etiquette, right? But you can't talk like that, right? But it's like, how much do I have to be disrespected, and then you expect me to talk to you all proper and straight and fucking nice? And it's like, yo, you just not doing. You don't want your job. That's clearly what it is. You don't want your fucking job. You don't want nobody to know what the hell is in that file. You don't want your job. You don't need that job. If you don't do your job, you don't need that job. That's how it goes. That's how it is. If you're not doing your job, then you don't need that job. People, you go to stores and they all angry and upset. It's like that person does not need to work in customer service if you don't like dealing with people. It's common sense. Common sense is not so common. And then it's like, and I keep talking about the courthouse because it's like the messages keep coming. I was talking about the settlement, like somebody, like a settlement. Messages come and it's like a settlement. Like they trying to settle this shit. Like, nah, there's no settling this. It's going to trial. It's going to court. There's no way you can settle this. It's too much disrespect. Y'all been playing with me for far too long. Maybe if you would have responded back in 2024 when I originally filed, maybe I would have fell for a fucking settlement. But no, it's going on 2 years of no one responding. No one's responding because the case has actual evidence and proof and it's incriminating to them and they don't want to respond to the case. That's the mentality. That's the knowledge. That's what it is. And I have to keep talking about this court case because if I don't talk about it, they're gonna hide it. They're gonna hide it. They're gonna sweep it under the rug. They don't want nobody to know what the hell they do, how they get down in the courthouse. They don't want nobody to know. And everything is in that file. Everything is in the file. It's all different organizations, all different parts of the courthouse is in that file, and no one wants to look into the file. And then it's filed in federal court. That's 500 Pearl Street in Manhattan. So since it's bigger than the Bronx, you have to take it to federal court. It has to be filed in federal court because it's bigger than the Bronx. So I filed it in the Bronx Supreme Courthouse because it's a civil act, it's a discrimination case, it's a lawsuit, it's for sabotage of personal and confidential information. It's a lot of information in that file and it's incriminating to a lot of people that work in the courthouse. Okay. So you suing the courthouse. Oh, you want to sue the entire Unified, you want to sue all the courts? Yeah, that's bigger than the Bronx. So you have to file the case in federal court also. So you have to take this, a copy of the file you just filed here in in the Bronx Supreme, you have to file this in federal court. That's 500 Pearl Street. You just file it with them. That lets it stay on file. That there's a federal, now it's federal because you filed it in federal court. So it's like, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Now it's on them to respond to the action because they're supposed to respond to you within 35 days. I'm like, oh, okay. So you wait 35 days before you take any action. So I waited 35 days. I've waited all of this time for a response. I've waited. I didn't even talk about the courthouse. I didn't make videos in 2024. I didn't talk about it. I'm like, oh, they're going to respond. They're going to respond. But it's incriminating to them. They're scared to respond. So now I'm looking for someone that can speak up for me, someone that's not afraid to speak up about violations, about incriminating evidence, discrimination, about racism, sexism. Like you just straight discriminating against me because I'm a woman, because I'm in my 40s. I'm 40. I resigned when I was 40. I filed this in 2024, so I was 44 when I filed the case. And I'm 46 now. It's going on 2 years. And no one wants to take accountability on this case. Nobody wants to respond. Nobody wants to say anything. Why? It's because there's something in this file that they don't want to respond to. They don't want to acknowledge it. They don't want anybody to know what the hell is in that file. And I'm like, if the newspapers, the media got a hold of this file, read what the hell is in the file. Read it. It's links. I send this. I put the links there so you could just tap the link and you could view the file. It's public information. It's not a secret. You can view the file if you want to see the file. Look at the file. Read the file. Be like, oh my God, all this shit happened. Yeah, all this shit happened, and nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody has anything to say to me. All I want is more money. I want whatever I'm suing for times five, times five, times four, times three, whatever. I want more money. That's all I want. Like, there's nothing you can give to me. There's no settling this because I want more money than what I'm suing for. So you can't settle with me. You can't settle with me because I want more now. More time passes and I want more. I have to get a representative to represent me, someone that's not afraid, someone that's not going to betray me and go against me to go and help the courthouse. And the courthouse is all the way fucked up. And they have to have mafia ties. They have to have some sort of ties because everyone is afraid. How is everyone afraid of the Bronx Supreme Courthouse? How is everyone afraid of the unified court system? Why is everyone afraid of this system? It's because there's something going on here. There's criminal activities going on here, and nobody wants to say anything. They're just going to continue to allow this shit to go on. And we're in 2025. This shit has been going on since before I was employed. And I was employed in 2006. And I have been complaining since 2008. I have been complaining and nobody does anything and nobody wants to look into it. Nobody wants to do their fucking job. I'm just like, oh my God. Like, they can't be this, how do you say, dense, this blind, this, like, what the hell is going on? I'm a witch. So, I know when somebody's sitting there and they playing in magic, like you playing and stuff, and then you want to act like you're so righteous and you're so proper and you would never, and then they're sitting there and then they're playing in black magic and they're doing shit to everybody so nobody sees what the hell is going on. I'm like, yo, nobody can see what the hell is going on here. Oh my God. Like, I don't know what else to do but talk about this shit online. That's why I talk about it. It's just to bring attention to the case. Somebody needs to read the case. Somebody that's not affiliated with the courthouse, read the case. Somebody that is not afraid. to read the fucking case. Read it. Read it and do something about it. Oh my God. Leave it alive, leave it alive. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm just like, oh my God. Leave it alive. Bye.